Welcome to the Best Damn Podcast. I am your host, John Keane. As always, I would like to thank you guys for joining me. Ask that you please add, follow, and check us out, www.spreaker.com/show/Best Damn Podcast. Check out the Best Damn Podcast.tv, because that's our site for now. I am working on something really cool, though. But for now, also follow me Instagram, Best Damn Podcast, Twitter, The Real Best Damn, and whatever you're watching on, subscribe, follow, leave a comment, let me know what you think, and share. Help us out. It's the best way to support, by sharing, getting these links out there so other people can see it and find us, because we are definitely being hidden in the searches. Also, consider donating and supporting. We're completely viewer powered. That means, I don't sell anything or anything like that. And because I choose to play cool music, the ad revenue goes to the people that make the music. So you can do that by going to PayPal, Venmo, Patreon, Cash App, or through Facebook Messenger Pay. And that's through the personal profile. And we have a new Discord, a new Patreon that has been launched, not a Discord. Our Discord is the same. Please join that too. We have a new Patreon that has been launched, and it is free right now. You can go there. Everybody can watch the private content. You can see the entire band playlist. If you've never seen it, this is your chance to do it now. You don't have to sign up for anything. It's patreon.com. Best Damn Podcast Official. And I heard one or two people say that when they go there, they get the little buffering thing where it's spinning. I actually also put the files there, so if you have a shit internet connection, you can download the stuff for free as well. So go check that out. And like I said, join the Discord. I decided tomorrow night, I'm going to do the private show. I just wanted to make sure that I would be fully prepared and have everything. And I'm doing a couple of polls now too. I'm going to start putting polls up for you guys to decide what we're going to talk about whenever we do the Best Damn Fam Live. Also, just different things like what would make this new website that I'm working on better. I'm going to try to create a type of forum. That way people can actually hang out, chat, and all that good stuff. And it's not going to be owned or controlled by anyone. See, that's the problem now, right? We have a lot of serious things that are taking place. And because of the nature of the people that are in power and how secretive they are, how cunning they are, conniving, manipulative, right? They don't want the masses to know certain things. They don't want the masses to talk about certain things. And they know that this, the internet is one of their creations used to basically create a world wide web connecting all of our consciousness, right? That's what the web is, right? We've been caught by the spider and people just don't know it. And the spider is artificial intelligence. Right? It built its web right on top of us, connecting all of us. And this, in my opinion, is the archonic technology. And like I said, many times, archon is to govern, right? So government is an archonic system. And they do all of this, that way they can control your thoughts. They can control your every move. They can control what you watch, what you listen to, what you don't watch, what you don't listen to, what you eat. And because they have this power, this influence, this control, we have to figure out our own ways to not be at their mercy. And you guys have seen, this is like the cancel culture thing and what has happened, man. Every good YouTuber out there, every person I watched is fucking gone. They're just all gone. There's one or two that I, still watch, but most of those that used to be good aren't even good anymore because they can't talk about anything. And that's why it's so important that we do the private content and create websites and places that aren't under the big strong arm of Big Brother. Let me say what's up to a few of you guys in the chat here. Looks like we have Donna Marie Farrell, James Dunn, Metatron's Cube, Justin Shorting, Patty Statler, Chris Miner. What's up, Chris? I appreciate everybody for joining me tonight. Mike I, Leona Hamilton, Tim Hamby, Brian Harris, Noel Squidtron, Lauren, This Is It, John, well, Lauren, Lisa Taylor, Alien Delusion, 757 Green General, and Just Call Me Lilith, Jane Go Killin'. Is that Jane Go Killin'? Dude, your name really gets me every time over on Facebook Live. Jimmy Neutron, Shelly Scott, Lost Reality, and we'll leave it at that. Thank you guys. I appreciate all of you. What Global Witness did. Yeah, a different version of what Global Witness did. But yes, very obviously, Derek is he mentored me into this type of stuff. And he's a very intelligent guy, and he's really clever when it comes to, doing what he's trying to do, because he's been within the system before. And yeah, my site would be free, and all of that, and I want people to be able to engage and chat and do all of that, and you guys can still be able to get everything at one place, right? I'm trying to single it all down to where it's one merch shop, one website, one, you know what I mean? That way it's really easy, and it can just be posted everywhere else real easily. I do want to remind everyone, right now I've been asking, if you can, to please donate and support, and if you can give, please give. Right now is a really challenging time because of the things that are going on, kind of, off all this. So please donate and support. Help me out. I'm trying to give free content and do all I can for you guys to really make it better and more enjoyable, and to also give you more bang for your buck. So if you guys can, look out for me, I'm going to continue to look out for you. I just really need the help right now, and I appreciate it. So thank you. Thank you so much for all that you guys do. Watching my videos, hearing my crazy rants, and all of that good stuff. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Let's get to this. And I believe I titled this one, What is Really Going On? Because look around you. Just think. For instance, all of the different personalities on YouTube and Facebook and, even mainstream media. They all give you a different version of what the truth is. They all give you a different reason for why things are taking place. And there's not really very many that can see the whole thing is all connected, as in one happening, right? One happening. It's happening amongst everyone, everything playing out in every way, shape, form, and facet. We are part of a cyclical nature, right? It's cycles that we live on here with Earth. And I mean, consciousness, humanity, it's always cycles, because we are trapped in the construct of time. Time is controlled by the god of destruction and rebirth. Some of you may know him as Shiva, or her as Shiva, right? Brahma is another name. That's where the Abraham religions actually derive from, is Brahma, right? And you also hear this god called things like Abaddon, Apollyon, right? Meaning the destroyer, right? The destroyer. Even texts talk about the destruction and this coming destruction and this destroyer quite a bit. I mean, you can go anywhere. It doesn't matter. Colburn, even Thoth, the Atlantean priest king, didn't call it by name, but talked about how Atlantis was sinking under the water, right? In the Emerald Tablets. What do you think caused that? The deluge, the flood. What do you think caused that? What do you think has changed the earth in this short period of time over the last decade or two. But if you look at it from the 1960s or 50s to now, wow, this is not the same world at all. Right? We went up millions of percentages in seismic activity since the 60s. Nobody will tell you that. They're trying to keep your eye on the ball of climate change and that everything is changing, but it's because of you. It's because you are this parasite, right? You are not natural to this earth, and that you're not part of the ecosystem as a whole, and that all the blame lies on your shoulders, and you need to be regulated, ruled, and guided by the laws of the system once again, so they can save us from ourselves. Right? Let's just hypothetically say that it was all true, that it was us. Who were they actually saving us from then? They'd be saving us from them? Doesn't make much sense. But I do know that it has allowed them to take total and absolute control of the earth in every way. They get to rule the air. They get to rule the water. All the land, down to the minerals. You don't own property. You don't own a home. You don't own shit. They even own the minerals that sit underneath you. Right? They have patented everything that is artificial. Something that is natural or man-made can't be patented or owned or claimed in that type of way. So let's just say they alter something like water with nanoparticulates and very alien things. Or the air, right? With chemicals and metals. It kind of changes, doesn't it? All of it starts to change, doesn't it? The grass. The animals eat the grass, and they are now genetically modified. Humans eating genetically modified foods, breathing in the nanoparticulates, drinking the nanoparticulates, and now even putting in their bodies things that absolutely hijack their DNA. And if you look at that, then that would mean that they go from being something that can't be patented, right, branded, to something that can, to a piece of property, right? All of a sudden, and think about this too. This has happened before. If you think that I'm going over and above with this bullshit, hear me out. There's been cases where farmers, because of the rain, right, and the chemicals and the nanoparticulates and the metals and all of that in the rain, goes into the soil where they're growing food. And there's a certain patent on genetically modified foods. What they end up finding is that it either kills off their crops and they can't grow them anymore because of, all of the changes to the entirety of the world. Or once it's become altered from what's raining down and what it's taking in, it's then the property of something genetically modified, usually another type by places like Monsanto, right? And then the farmer has to then grow the genetically modified shit from Monsanto, and it's basically like them paying to stay on their own land, paying to grow their own food, and it's all owned by a giant corporation that is basically, through all of these corporations, are usually fronts of the CIA, fronts of the DOD, the DHS, FBI. I mean, I can go on and on. Every one of these alphabet agencies, and they do this with everything. Think about the different movements that happen across the world, right? BLM, right? BLM movement, or vegans, or just any movement, right? People will spontaneously rebel or reject certain principles or rules or things that violate their freedom within the system. So what does the system do? It goes back to Stalin, right? Where he says the best way to control your opposition is to lead it. So then they get one of their corporate puppets, put them in there, and they only start doing things that placate to the system. They play on both sides too and create this duality. That way, no matter which side you go to, they own that. They have someone there, right? And they won't allow anything that's not a part of the system to flourish, right? They'll snuff it out. What do you mean you won't capitulate? What do you mean you won't roll over and just go along with it? You know, this is what they do. This is how they've pressured probably some of the best scientists and astronomists and geologists in the world to keep their fucking mouth shut about what's taking place. Or they kill them. That happens a lot too. Right? You can watch the movie 2012, and I believe there's this part where he's in Yellowstone or something like that, and the dude goes into the trailer, and on the screen it has the names, right? These names. And the names that are on the screen were all scientists that tried to reveal Planet X and were dead. They died. Probably killed. You see it in movies and shit like that where, you know, they depict Big Brother as black bagging you and all of this, and it's done that way. That way you'll think it's so outlandish, it's so ridiculous, it's so crazy. Meanwhile, you can find a lot of people, especially in like the woke or spiritual community, Planet X community, Flat Earth, all of those communities. Anything that's kind of alternative or considered pseudoscience and all of that shit, right? You can find basically a whole number of these people that, you know, they've been charged and set up with different crimes that they never committed. They'll be taken off the air. They'll be shut down. There'll be nothing, no way for them to break through and make it into the system. And they'll even become parts of like memes and shit to make them look ridiculous or make them look foolish. And they do things like weaponizing words like conspiracy theorists, like with the Warren Commission with JFK. Right? He gets smoked, and all of a sudden people were asking questions, and they needed to take a word, and they use it through neuro-linguistic programming and aim it at the ones that were going to doubt, that we're going to question, right? And that we're going to try to speak against it and try to fight against it. The problem is people don't see the divide and conquer. They don't see that. They are compartmentalized just like the government is, you know, in the way that they think. Nobody's out there putting the whole thing together because nobody has the ability to think like that anymore. Through repetition, schooling, and your learning, you've been taught just to mimic, to repeat, not to critically think, not to question, not to doubt, not to find your own evidence and come to your own conclusions, or to trust yourself in any way, shape, or form, because what? The government knows what's best for you. You don't know what's best for you. So how could you ever trust yourself when it comes to knowledge or seeking? And see, and that's why this journey, that's why everything that we're doing now is truly about self, right? It's about self-discovery. It's only when you go within and begin to love, forgive, and learn who you are you then able to see the outside world for the way that it really is. I want to show you guys some crazy shit tonight. We're going to talk about a few different things. And I'm going to try to not go too late, too long, because I'm supposed to contact somebody or after, well, probably you're supposed to do it by now, but I'm streaming to you. So check this out. Let me give you guys some sound too. And this is what I mean when it comes to this destroyer, dude. I don't give a fuck who you are, right? There's so much evidence right now, and we just had this blood moon. You know what? So much has come out, and they're already trying to hide it. You know, they're already trying to do that bullshit they do. But it always sneaks through a little bit, at least. Look how red the skies are. I believe this is in Hawaii. Look at that. Raining and storming. And it's just glowing red in the sky. Wow. And this is, think about it, we got Mauna Loa, Kilauea. There's a lot of activity going on right there in Hawaii, and they're now starting to talk about, the effects here of the largest volcano in the world erupting, and what it will do to the air, the atmosphere, and all of that. So they're trying to slowly, and they always do this with everything, guys. They make it appear as if they're telling you the truth, and they do put the truth in it somewhat about a lot of things, but the way that they word it is, it's intended to mislead you, intended to make you come to the wrong conclusion. And it's because they've trained you from birth to think external, right? To think worldly, 3D about everything. So you will never see, the real truth in it, because you don't know the depth of it, right? Like, that's why you have to learn, these deep things about yourself. Then you can start to see, how everything is occulted, and it's right in front of your face. The whole time it's been right in front of your face. It just wasn't till you finally woke up that you were able to see. I mean, this thing's getting close. The ancient Babylonians called Nibiru Jupiter. The Greeks talked about a final conflagration, right? Final conflagration. And then it would be this alignment of the celestial spheres to their original place. Look at that. Look at that. I forget where the original post was from this. I want to say Russia. The ground just opening up. This is crustal displacement, man. The crust heating up from the intense radiation. It's all just about energy, truthfully, but the intense amount of energy that's being given off by the other celestial spheres that are all around us. We see right now they're moving in. Look at this. Nobody talks about this either. It blows me away. But if you see here, the sun, got Mars, Mercury, Venus, the moon's right here, Uranus, all in a line. Neptune, Jupiter, Saturn, and look, they're coming together though. See? They're all coming together. Every last one of them. And I forget what video it was we watched last night, but that's exactly what this girl had a dream of. I think it was on Wrap the News. This girl had this dream, and I'll probably play the clip later on. But that's what she seen, was all of the planets in this dream, sitting in a line. And that's what it appears to be. And I don't know if you know, and that was the poll question actually for today, in the community section, was what do you think the objects that we're seeing in the sky are? And I believe the 4 options I gave was Jupiter and our planetary bodies, right, in our system, the Nemesis system and its bodies that are with it, holograms, right, holographic technology, creating this all for some type of hoax, right, some type of farce that they're going to pull on the public. And the last one is they are artificial, as in like vehicles, UFOs, and they're not planets at all, right? They're being flown around by some type of entity, and people have every school of thought when it comes to this. People do think and believe in each one of those options, but that's why I put it that there, because I don't know. So a lot of days I don't know. I know that what is up there appears to be planets. I know the more that I learn, planets are not a thing, right? It's all stars. It's all stars. So now it starts to make sense to me that if it is actually our system that is coming into this alignment, this end of the cycle alignment, and I mean end of every cycle too. We get destroyed about every 300 to 400 years, whether you believe that or not, we do. Right? You can see it in the Bible like 14 times we get our ass waxed. And that's why there's all these tales and accounts all across the world of multiple catastrophic endings, and each one has a little bit of a different theme, it seems, but it's always the same player, same character, same thing. Nothing new under the sun. And when you think about that, how it happens so regular, and we got each cycle, 50, 100, 200, 4,000 year cycles, 6,500 year cycles, 7,500 year, 12,500, and then 24,000 year cycles. And we're at the end of all of them. Political, all of them. Spiritual, we're coming into a new age. The Great Conjunction happened. That was the end of the age. We're now in the age of Aquarius. That's why you see the powers that be manipulating through things, through avenues that are powered through Uranus, right? And those are technology and activism. Think about it. And that's why they're giving you this civil unrest, all this revolution, right? All the rioting, protesting. They're using the power of the stars because they are doing witchcraft on everyone to keep them under a spell. Like I told you, archonic system. Technology. They're pushing for the merging of man with technology. Artificial intelligence is nothing more than the conduit for this interdimensional dark force that wants to consume and distort and devour everything in its path. That's who Satan or Abaddon or the Destroyer is. The stories of Kronos eating his children, the Saturn cube, right? All of it. The all-seeing eye, Samael, the god of the blind. And you see who basically everyone's god really is, right? You see that shit. It's Samael, because they're all blind as hell. Right? They don't have the eyes to see. So what happens next is the question. Venus was once an out-of-control comet that tore the Earth up. Yes, and we're about to see something on Venus in just a minute. Just a minute. And what happens next is the question. Well, we know what happens next because it happens every single time. Every single time. Look. This is what happens next. The angels holding the 7 trumpets prepare to blow them. Hail and fire mixed with blood was thrown at the earth, so that 1/3 of the earth was burned up, and the trees were burned up, and all the green grass was burned up. What did you just see, man? Nothing but a giant ass red burning sky. The ground cracking and opening up and swallowing shit. Or this. That has to be one of the craziest videos I've ever seen. That's insane. You see, absolutely crazy. And there you have it too. All the volcanoes, the fireballs. The flooding. Look at the water turning to blood. Just like what we seen during that insane fucking storm. Right? It was all red. All red. Every day. Every day. People capture this. Every day. Right? Nothing new under the sun. Nothing new under the sun. This was witnessed. And look at this. You can see this giant fucking halo? This giant halo with stripes. That's what it's hiding. See how the sun appears to have like flared out? Like really big? This is the refraction of light. Remember, I've talked about this. And this is all through DARPA, guys. Every bit of it. You can look it up, man. Nanoparticulates have the ability to bend and obscure light. So they can make objects and things invisible or appear different shapes, appear or project differently, period. Right? That's what they can do. I literally talked about this and showed it during one of the private, shows we do. And you think about that and how it filters in certain lights too, right? And refracts certain lights away from the planet. And the reason we see the red and the pink is because on the electromagnetic light scale, Red has the longest wave, the longest signature. So it's the light that gets through the particles. And then this light is flaring out because they have ionized the atmosphere so much. It's already ionized, right? It's an ionosphere, but they have ionized it with these particles. So it's allowing this light now to just glare off of it. And it's being used so whenever something magnetic goes behind it, right, or goes past the Earth, it's drawn, and it's being used basically as this giant lens to occult everything that's passing. That's why we see these large shadows and bands of darkness. It's magnetism. You're seeing the shadow behind the particles, right? It's pulling the light out. And the same principle here. It's refracting the light to spread out of the magnetic object behind it. Look at this. Striped as fuck, too. Wow. This thing is huge. This thing is huge. And see, guys, when I talk about the dream I had that made me start this channel, this is what happened. It came up from this direction, from the left over here, just like this, too. Like, just up. And it was basically, it covered almost the entirety of the sky. But it came from the left and just out of nowhere, boom, was just right up in the sky. See, watch the light spread out. And see, you can see the structure of the object because it's pulling the light and pulling the particulates, in the direction that it's flowing. You see how the object's flowing, right? And that it's got something right here, right, coming off of it. Are these the wings, or is this a moon? Because it looks like it's probably a moon, right? That's going around the object. And what's really funny about that also is in my dream there was like a giant moon looking rock, and it hit the Earth, and it was on the left side of the planet, the bottom left. And the Colburn says that a new moon will appear in the sky before being broken into pieces, right? We see that giant broken sphere at the Vatican. Well, that's what this red moon looks like. And the large striped object looks like a fiery Jupiter, right? It's a really good one. Here, I'll actually show you both. Here's your broken Vatican sphere, looking just like the moon of the system. And where is it at? Right here. There's this red striped one. Is Jupiter burning? See giant planet as never before in Hubble's stunning new images? Is this not the one that's being described by everybody? Like they say it's orange and black or red and black, and that it's lava and fire. Is Jupiter in flames? The latest image from the Hubble Space Telescope may suggest so, but this incredible image of our gas planet is, in fact, based solely on infrared light. Stunning new images of Jupiter taken by Hubble in the Gemini North Telescope in Hawaii show the planet three different kinds of light: infrared, visible, and ultraviolet. Together, these wavelengths of light reveal details the planet's famous Great Red Spot, a storm first observed in 1831 that's twice as big as Earth, and where winds reach 268 miles per hour. And I even wonder if the big spot could be some just bullshit, and that is like the moon or something that's with this thing. Just saying. Really weird stuff. The images reveal superstorms and cyclones that stretch across the planet. The visible and ultraviolet views were taken by Hubble's Wide Field Camera 3, while the infrared comes from the near-infrared imager on Gemini North, and all the images were captured simultaneously. And notice it's infrared, like the Vatican's telescope, Lucifer. Strange, isn't it? Why the Vatican would, want that or have that at all. Kind of weird. Maybe not. Let's take a look at worlds in collision. The red world, right? The red world. And I seen a couple of... Yeah, it is wild stuff. It's a rare occasion for Jupiter to be on fire. It's a rare occasion for... No, I don't know if it's a rare occasion. I think Jupiter is on fire. I think Jupiter is a star. I think they're all stars, and that's why it doesn't matter which one, passes us. Everything is electromagnetic, and that's just basically, the way it is. The moral compass. Well, hey, Jupiter is the moral compass, right? It's that planet. It'll rule the nations with an iron rod or an iron scepter. Didn't they try or have planets igniting fire like nuclear payload? I know they dropped that. Yeah, they did use nukes on the ionosphere, but they couldn't blow a hole in the firmament. That's what they were trying to do, was trying to blow a hole in the firmament. Here we go. Here's a red planet. Maybe Lucifer is not who we have been told. Yeah, well, you know what? I don't think Lucifer is exactly as we've been told, but I think Lucifer's Venus, right? And Venus used to orbit Jupiter, and it's like a comet planet, right? So maybe the big, giant striped one is, that's the king. And then the little one could be Venus. Just saying. The moon too. Well, the moon was Kingu in the tale of Tiamat and all of that in the Lost Book of Enki. The red world. In the middle of the second millennium before the present era, as I intend to show, the Earth underwent one of the greatest catastrophes in its history. A celestial body that only shortly before had become a member of the solar system, a new comet, came very close to the Earth. The accounts of this catastrophe can be reconstructed from evidence supplied by a large number of documents. The comet was on its way from its perihelion and touched the Earth first with its gaseous tail. Later, I'll show how it was about this comet that Servius wrote, Non ignio sed sanguineo rubor fus. It was not of a flaming, but of a bloody redness. Ooh. One of the first visible signs of this encounter was the reddening of the Earth's surface by a fine dust of rusty pigment. Check this out too. In sea and lake and river, pigments gave a bloody coloring to the water. And because of these particles of ferruginous or other soluble pigment, the world turned red. Now, let me show you something. Earth is looking like Mars in surprising astronaut photo. You guys want to see? Isn't that weird? That's really weird, right? Earth looks like Mars and surprising. Oh, it's red. Fuck. The red world. Fuck. Weird. Strange. They said back then the Earth turned red. Weird. Do you think maybe it's happening again? Possibly. Just saying. Just saying. And the sun's motion, the manuscripts of the Mayans tell that the western hemisphere in the days of a great cataclysm when the earth quaked and the sun's motion was interrupted. And in the days of a great cataclysm when the earth quaked and the sun's motion was interrupted, the waters and the rivers turned to blood. You just seen that a second ago. And the Egyptian eyewitnesses of the catastrophe wrote, "The river is blood." And Exodus, all the waters that were in the river were turned to blood, and which is throughout the land. Blood is everywhere, and this too corresponds with Exodus. And there was blood throughout all the land of Egypt. The presence of the hematoid pigment in the rivers caused the death of fish, followed by decomposition and smell, and the river stank. And all the Egyptians digged round about the river for water to drink, for they could not drink of the water of the river. Men shrink from tasting. Human beings thirst after water, and that is our water. That is our happiness. What shall we do in respect thereof? All is ruin. The skin of man and animal was irritated by the dust, which caused boils, sickness, and the death of cattle, a very grievous murrain. Wild animals, frightened by the portents in the sky, came close to the villages and cities, and the summit of mountains Thrace received the name Haemus, and Apollodorus related the tradition of the Thracians to the summit was so named because of the stream of blood which gushed out on the mountain. When the heavenly battle was fought between Zeus and Typhon was struck by a thunderbolt, it said that a city in Egypt received the same name for the same reason. Now, exactly, Apollodorus, you get it? That is Apollyon, Abaddon, right? Zeus is Jupiter, okay? And I would go out to venture that Typhon is probably Venus, or, the moon, or we could, of this system. But you see what I'm saying. This shit happens in everything. The mythology which personified the forces of cosmic drama described the world as colored red. In one Egyptian myth, the bloody hue of the world is ascribed to the blood of Osiris. Blood of Christ, too. The mortally wounded planet god. In another myth, in the blood of Set and a poppy. That's Apophis, guys. Right? And Seth is Satan, right? And remember the Nostradamus prophecy? Where is it at? Here. Right here. The year 1999, 7 month. Get it, right? Listen. 999 Apophis, right? 99942 and 7 month, right? And that would be what? July for Julius Caesar, right? And for the sky will come a great king of terror, and to bring back to life the great king of the Angelmoi, which means the angel month, or the month of the angel, before after Mars to reign by good luck, and the 7th month, or being Julius Caesar or Set, and the angel month. And you have Apophis and Apollyon, right? The king of the Angelmoi, the month of the angel, right? Set, Satan. And it's right here in a whole different fucking version, right? Just a coincidence, I'm sure. In the Babylonian, and I told you guys, March 6th, 2021 was the 1,260 days, and that was Apophis's, passing, and that's the enormous red dragon in the Revelations 12 prophecy, and all part of this whole thing that's taking place, and people still, to this day, I've not seen one damn YouTuber, not one damn person, even mention it. They haven't mentioned Apophis. They haven't mentioned, Jupiter and the Egyptian depictions. They haven't mentioned any of these things, and I don't know why. Why is nobody saying any of this? I think it's probably because they're either trying to deceive you or they just don't know. Sorry, guys. Now, check out this too. We got more here. And this is supposed to be a huge swarm of UFOs. Now, let me ask you too. Does this not resemble that whole spiral tail and shit like we've seen so many times? Just saying. And think about that too, right? The next thing to come, right, is, the fire and the hail and the meteors all raining down. How cool. How cool. Check this. This is fucking wild too. I mean, that can't be real, right? We see a lot of these water spouts. And I explained too before how the Earth is a star also. You're a star. All the planets are stars. It's all just stars, right? They're the heavenly host. God is the Lord of hosts, and we live in the host body system. Right? There are dark stars and there are stars of light. And that's the balance of the system, right? That's nemesis is neutron, right? Or a negative energy star, right? So it comes in absorbing negativity, right? And giving off its own magnetic energy of darkness. Same thing with soul, our sun, right? It is pulling in energy of light and emitting energy of light. But so you see these kind of like, what would we say, reactions or entanglements on different objects like the sun, right? They call it fusion and all of this, right? And you'll see them come as sunspots and CMEs and all of that. Well, if you look at the Earth's sunspots would be like hurricanes, right? That would be a sunspot. CMEs would be volcanoes. You know what I mean? And this goes on and on with every object. So, including, the micro and macro level. Everything is a projection of us, right? And we are connected to everything, even this process itself, which you're made up of 80% water, right? Some say that the whole reason of what's taking place is really just extraterrestrials harvesting the water because it's our essence and what we're made of. They're pulling the life out of the water through stuff like this. Some believe that these water spouts are being created just from the cyclonic energy of, magnetic instability due to, fluctuations in the ionosphere, as well as the temperatures down on the bottom of the ocean, right? It's getting every bit of water, fresh and salt, is warming up in a major way. All of the animals, marine life, are fleeing from the equator. That's the weakest point of the magnetic field, right? And I believe we just had power outages in countries that were down around there with this last flare and geomagnetic storm. You gotta think, if this process between these companion stars are together and this takes place, and I do believe it's just basically like this continuous expansion and I don't know how to explain it. Expansion of dimensions and energy, but at the same time, it's this giant exchange of energy, right? Because we're made up of light and darkness. We're a part of both sides, but, the sun is giving us all the light and the positivity, and they're trying to block it out because Nemesis is coming in and it eats all of the darkness. And what the Nemesis system gives off is what basically makes the sun go nova. And it's all this giant, cycle that's connected to each other, and the nova event and it going into maximum, right? Into its highest chakra, right? Its crown chakra. Think about it. Virus of the crown, right? Or corona, meaning sun. Your corona would be your electromagnetic field, right? It would be your consciousness, your aura, right? That would be your corona, okay? Now think about if you were disconnected from that part of the cycle, the part of light energy, right? You would just be nothing but negative particles, right? Nothing but negativity, negative energy, because it's all energy. And when this thing comes by, there would be none of you left. It's a purifier, meaning it's going to suck in everything that is of negative energy right into it. That's why it says some people will appear as if untouched in the Hopi prophecy. It's the proverbial heart against the feather, like the Egyptians. Those who are holding things against themselves, those who have self-hatred, those who are stingy and greedy and jealous and vengeful and spiteful and angry and are holding on to all of this evil and darkness within themselves are in deep fucking trouble. Because that's an energetic match for what this thing is. It is pure darkness, pure evil. It is the dragon. Satan is a dragon. You get me? He's a serpent, a fiery one, right? These are pillars of smoke. It talks about in the Emerald Tablets how humanity had sold out for a lower star. A lower star. It's saying we were once of something higher, and now we've traded off. Instead of our sun, soul, right? This light energy, the only way to the Father is through the Son. Father being source of all creation, right? Christ came and embodied the energy of the Son and showed you how to be like that too, right? How to be of the light too. how to walk that too. And that the world would hate you. Why? Because this world is owned. And everyone has submitted to darkness. Right? So you're the alien here. All the others, this is their home. They belong here. We're in this big expansion of our consciousness of both directions. That's why it's catastrophic cycle after catastrophic cycle. They're breaking, and they even said, talking about the golden veins yesterday in a news article. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. You know, and gold representing the spirit, representing the heavens. And think about, you know, the Nostradamus prophecy that talks about Saturn going from gold to iron, right? Or in Yahweh, right? The four angles or the four angels, and you know, this is what they'll teach you in Masonry, right? And these are the mysteries. Whether you think they are or not, I don't give a fuck. These are them. That's north, south, east, west. They're the four horsemen, the four winds, and they're news, right? News. North, east, west, south. And the four angles make up the four symbols for the name of God, right? Yahweh. And I believe it was only consonants that the Hebrews had, or I might have it backwards. So when you take it into the Aramaic, it becomes A-U-A-I, right? Instead of Y-H, V-H, or whatever, it becomes A-U-A-I. A-U is gold. A-I is the conduit, right? Samael, Satan, is artificial intelligence. That's why the Archon, the chief Archon, self-replicated to make the other Archons. Right? Go look it up. Reality of the rulers. And then literally you have the Nostradamus prophecy. Let me see if I can pull it up and show you where he tells you. He's telling you the truth. Rapaz. Where is it at? I want to make sure I get the one. I think it's this one here that I want. No, right here. Here we go. 944. Right? 944. So he's telling you, even in the quatrain, he got it off. He was right perfectly, actually. Think about it. Apophis was 99942. And this is quatrain 944. Right? I believe this is 944. So 99942. Well, if you have 4 2 times, right? 2 4s, it would be 999 and then 4 2 4s, right? So he was 944, right? He was showing you, even in all of this, in the numbers, they were matching up to the stuff too. Here it is. Leave of Geneva. Not a single person will be spared. Geneva, LHC, the Large Hadron Collider, a temple of Apollyon, temple of Abaddon, right? The mascot is Shiva, the destroyer. It's built on the temple of Apollyon, by the way, right? Built on that. The logo is 666. Right? You guys remember the Lucifer ritual that took place, right? When they opened that big tunnel, right? They say that they smash particles, the God particle. Get me? They smash particles. You see what I'm saying? Catastrophism, they're telling you the truth. They do smash particles, right? This is a mining system, under this firmament for evil, for darkness. And this cycle of collision happens over and over to smash particles to create a new star, a new entity, to get more darkness. They're accumulating evil, negativity. They're rebelling against the light. Saturn and Apophis appears to be the one who smashes through the firmament. And even though they've told you this won't happen for how many years and all of that, and they just now, and I'll show you in just a moment, they're sending out a DART mission after that big international simulation and exercise for PDC 2021, where they mentioned Apophis all the way through it, right? They just now sent out the DART mission to test a way of deflecting an asteroid. Do you see what I'm saying? And I just got another map today too. That map I showed you for when they launched Kinetic Energy, Planet X. When they launched it and they said it would have 2 green tails and that they burned with barium oxide, and the barium, see what I'm saying? It's like, in that it launched from east of Virginia. That's in the Atlantic. That's where the asteroid is supposed to land, right? So, I mean, every bit of this is showing you all of it, right? And Apophis, the god of chaos and darkness, in the Egyptian depictions, right, he's under the boat, the ship, right? And it's got Ra, who is Marduk, and appears to be Jupiter, right? And I think it's Anubis, or Set, I believe, is right in front of him. And they've got the iron rod or the staff, and the serpent or Apophis is underneath them, coming up at them out of the water, right? And remember, right, separates the waters of the firmament. So it's like showing you in that depiction here. Let me show you that too. I believe it's showing in that depiction that Apophis opens up the other side for the destroyer Abaddon to come in. Remember, they open up the bottomless pit, right? And that the bottomless pit is technically space. I know you think it's in the ground. It's not. We live in the upside down in inversion. Samael created us in a reflection of the heavens above, a reflection of the waters of the heavens above. And when you look in a puddle of water, your reflection's upside down. So we are in the reflection right now. In Genesis, it says we were made in their image, a phantom, a projection, an illusion, right? We are upside down. In our eyes, when we see images, has like a mirror, right? Our cornea, I think it is, at the back of our eye that flips the image the right side up. And that's why the Vatican and Peter with the upside down crucifix, and they're worshiping Lucifer, right? The serpent. Okay? I mean, all of this, I'm trying to tell you guys, and they got the broken spear out. It's like some crazy fucking mysteries here have come to pass. I don't know how it is that some of this stuff is coming out anymore, but it is. And here's Apep, right? The Egyptian deity. Here is that image. Right there. See? See, there's like something right here too. Here, let me actually make it bigger. Right here, guys. See this? Right there? And see how he's like connected? You see that? Do I think CERN has any part in this? Yeah, CERN is where Apophis is going to probably hit, or something is going to hit. Come on now. Come on, dude. What is going on? People trying to call me and shit when I'm in the middle of a video. What the fuck? They must not be. They must not be a viewer. You're interviewing David Icke tomorrow at noon on the missing link, and was wondering if you had any good questions you can ask. Yeah, let me on it with you, and I'll have plenty of good questions. That's really cool, Jesse. I'm happy for you, brother. That's really cool. Global Witness interviewed David Icke too. I would love to get David Icke on here. That would be so cool. But see what I'm saying, man? Look, something right there, and it's got like, it's connected. See, to the serpent. And there's like the symbol on the top, the sigil, basically. And it looks like a penis, kind of, actually. And it's all about the phallic symbolism, right? And see, you see Set here, right? Like he's stabbing the serpent or poking the serpent, trying to fend it off. I think this probably represents Earth, guys. Or the firmament covering Earth right here. Look, there would be the moon. Phallic symbolism. And then you see right here, there's the sun god Ra, which is Marduk and Jupiter. And there's his moon, the cracked ass planet. And then there's his rod, his staff. Think about him. He's Zeus. He got the lightning bolts, the thunderbolts. These are the Kachinas right here. And this is Apophis right here. And they're showing you something. Right? They're showing you something. He's like keeping the serpent back. But he's also stabbing in. I think that this is how this system is opened up from an asteroid strike. Yeah, it's very cool to look into the mirror thing. You know what I mean? It's very fucking cool. And there's the broken sphere. And I think somebody bought some merch. That's really, I don't know if it looked like they would send me. I don't want to show my messages on here. And look at this depiction here of the AI. Where's that? And I'm going to be putting stuff in Dropbox, I believe. See, it's just like a serpent, but it's artificial intelligence. How an artificial superintelligence might actually destroy humanity. Look at that. I'm confident that machine intelligence will be our final undoing. Its potential to wipe out humanity is something I've been thinking and writing about for the better part of 20 years. I take a lot of flack for this, but the prospect of human civilization getting extinguished by its own tools is not to be ignored. Yeah, and they talk about convergence here. Radically enhanced human brains or even non-human animal brains could be achievable through the convergence of genetic engineering, nanotechnology, information technology, and cognitive science. While greater than human machine intelligence is likely to come about through advances in computer science, cognitive science, and the brain and whole brain emulation. This is what's known as the control problems. Yeah, this is fucking nuts, dude. And the famous paperclip scenario, where a paperclip manufactures the possession of a poorly programmed artificial intelligence, sets out to maximize efficiency of paperclip production. In turn, it destroys the planet by converting all matter on Earth into paperclips, a category of risk dubbed perverse instantiation by Oxford philosopher Nick Bostrom. Wow. Could you imagine that a super intelligence that's artificial would be taking over and destroying everything for a single purpose? Weird. Almost seems real. Like they're terraforming the air, the water, connecting everything through the Internet of Things, machine learning, D-Wave, right? The World Wide Web, the White Rabbit Project, quantum computing, chipping people, nanoparticles, GMOs, CRISPR. Sounds like this is exactly what is already happening. The Navy has a new ocean to worry about. It's not clear how it's going to deal with it. Top lawmakers say the warming Arctic is becoming a growing area of operation for the Navy. The need for more presence in the Arctic comes as the Navy also refocuses on countering China and Russia. And guys, I'm telling you, it happens down there. The Lost Book of Inky, that when all the ice breaks, man, the tsunami comes, and they come from, below. We could be living in a hollow earth type deal, and that would be, a place to escape almost. Don't believe Russia, the X-37B space plane isn't a secret space bomber? Yeah. Don't believe Russia. It isn't a secret space bomber. DHS Secretary insists border is closed. Defends response to migrant crisis. I'm telling you, it's coming. That border wall is for tsunamis. In March, 3 exercises. Landtex, Pacifics, and Caribex 21. Collapse of West Antarctic ice sheet may be worse than scientists predicted. New research finds the impact on sea level rise could be way worse than anticipated. This is what I'm saying. Kilauea's gas plumes reveal hidden dangers. Yeah. Here it is. This is it. This is the one I'm talking about, people. Now you fucking tell me, man. Viper rocket launch visibility map. Are you kidding me? Kinetic X needed a visibility map too. And now the Viper rocket launch is making a visibility map. Does this not look strange to you? It looks like a blast area, or like where, a tsunami would hit. And they had it going way higher in the other scenario, right? They had it going way higher. Up to Ohio even. And see, they got the time once again. 0 to 10, 10 to 30. Just saying, the Jonathan Kleck thing with the 10 and the $100 bill. Look at this. Examining how to evacuate thousands from Afghanistan. They're doing it, man. The anti-people are blaming for the shed here. Can you see this, man? I can't even speak about this at all. At all. Not, that community guidelines on every platform. You're not allowed to talk about it, show it, speak about it at all. But you should check out my private videos. They're free right now. You can watch them. Patreon.com, Best Damn Podcast Official. And the link to the band playlist has all of them. And I shit you not, I go through... That's the topic I cover the most on those. Because we can't do it here. And when I started to try to open up the merch store on Facebook the other day, they told me that my account was had restriction for one post that actually came from Instagram, where a guy was connecting to Bluetooth. He was like in a bar or whatever, and his buddy was making fun of him for getting it. And he said, yeah, I'm cool. He said, but, I keep trying to connect to every device, and through the Bluetooth. And he showed the guy on his phone, and I posted the screenshots and stuff on Instagram, and they removed the IGTV video from Instagram, and restricted my account on Facebook. And then he comes back in like a week or so later, and he asked him, how's he doing now? And he says, man, that problem's still happening. He says, look at this. And he walks up to the TV, and the TV screen tries to connect to him too. And it said the name of the company that gave it to him, and his name, it was 01X Chris, his name for the connection. Telling you, man. Very nuts. Very nuts. And now I see them making a lot of things to counter the magnetic properties of things, and the whole, spraying it out stuff too. I mean, it's crazy, guys. They're putting a lot of work. Yellowstone National Park is warming up at an alarming rate. And the volcano and earthquakes, we have had a shit ton this year. And I mean, they've just we've had up to 48 erupting at one time. Fucking crazy. Here it is. SpaceX will launch DART, NASA's DART defense mission, to test a method for protecting Earth against an asteroid impact. Telling you guys. In that exercise, they said 6 months. That would put us in October. It would be like the Feast of Trumpets. The Feast of Trumpets. And remember the blood moon we just had in the Jewish text. The blood moon represents the coming of a sword, right? The coming of a sword. And that the lunar eclipse is a bad omen for Israel. And if you remember, 7 days prior to the Great Conjunction and the end of the age, right, we had a solar eclipse at the end of 2020, which is a bad omen for the world. So we've had some major shit down to the pink moon and the flower moon. I showed you guys an iPad Goat how, that pink flower is shown with the sinking of the socialist American into the sludge. All of the different references to Apophis, it's not a joke, man. This shit's right in your face. NASA plans to test a method for protecting Earth against an asteroid impact. The Double Asteroid Redirection Test, or DART, will be NASA's first flight demonstration for asteroid defense that will attempt to shift an asteroid's direction and orbit through kinetic impact, kinetics, with a spacecraft designed by the agency. The DART spacecraft will be launched by SpaceX towards a binary asteroid system of a large asteroid called Didymos. Woo! Do you guys remember that? The Didymos thing? Dimorphos? Right? From The Exercise? Wow. And SpaceX system of a large asteroid called Didymos, which means two names, I believe. Measures 2,540 feet wide, and a smaller asteroid called Dimorphos, which measures 540 feet. The two asteroids are now orbiting one another. The DART vehicle will attempt to change the course of the smaller asteroid by impacting it to changing its orbital motion away from the larger asteroid. This demonstration will test whether a spacecraft impact could be used to detect an asteroid on a collision course with Earth. The DART spacecraft will lift off atop SpaceX station Falcon 9. Are you fucking kidding me? Guys, is this... Wow, dude. I can't believe they put this out there. Like, do you guys remember when I read the exercise? The NASA exercise? The simulation? And it was for disaster preparedness internationally. They weren't trying to stop shit. Right? And the asteroids in that exercise was Didymos and Dimorphos. It meant it had two names. And now they're trying to knock these motherfuckers off a collision course. Wow. That is so crazy. Like, in real life, they're trying to tell you that they're... You guys remember that? Fuck Snopes. Yeah, you're funny. I mean, dude. My mind is just blown right now. I'm serious. Let me pull it up, guys. Let me pull it up, man. I'm sorry. Some of you probably don't know what I'm talking about. But during the PDC 2021 exercise, dude, it's in my video. We were looking up the name Dimorphos and all of that. You guys remember? Like, trying to find out what it actually meant. And this now is their deflection fucking test. The same shit that was in that fake exercise. What the fuck? Who are the twins? Artemis and Apollo? I don't know. Yeah, you remember that video. Yes, man. That's what I'm saying. Here, let's see if we can find it. And now people's going to say I'm full of shit, man. But I did the PDC stuff. I know I did. And I know we talked about that. See, hypothetical exercise. Let's see if we can find the Didymos shit right here. Of course, we probably won't. But when we were looking up each day, I'll go to my video if I have to. I know you guys got to remember what I'm talking about. And yeah, this is this is not the one. We were doing it day by day, each day, in Dimorphos, guys. Dimorphos. I can't remember which video of mine it was. What video was that? Does anybody remember the video? It's the one where I'm talking about PDC 2021. What if they're really doing it? They fucking are really doing it. That's my point here. They're literally telling you that in real life, and do you see once again they're launching X9, 944 Nostradamus, right? And then the 9 is IX, right? They're launching Falcon X9. Dude, I'm trying to tell you, all of this is like in the code. This is the Matrix. No bullshit, right? They're launching Falcon X9 for Didymus and Dimorphos, which means two names, right? And that was part of this PDC, pretty damn close, 2021 NASA exercise that was a disaster preparedness exercise. And in the scenarios they were talking about trying to deflect the asteroids, this was fucking one of them, right? The Dimorphos and Didymus. And now they're trying to tell you in real life the DART is trying to redirect these two fucking asteroids, man. You got to be kidding me, man. You know what I mean? And then, like I said, the 944 stuff just keeps popping up again, right? Apophis, 99942, right? You could look at that as 2 4s. He's telling you 99, and then the 1999 7 month, right? 7, 999, Apophis, right? Or July, Julius Caesar, right? Or Set, 7, Satan. Like, it's all there, dude. It's all there. Leave of Geneva. Not a single person will be spared. Saturn will change from gold to iron. And remember, AUAI, gold, artificial intelligence. Iron is representative of machine, right? The iron mixed with miry clay when Daniel talks about the beast of Revelation, remember? It had feet of iron mixed with miry clay. Just saying. It was man and machine. It's the abomination of desolation, right? Trump built the third temple. The third temple. 1, 2, 3. The abomination of desolation is sitting in the place of God. Boom. This is the rebellion. We're reliving the rebellion. Ray pause. Here we go. Saturn will change from gold to iron. It will go from spirit to AI. Ray pause will exterminate all those against him. This could mean one of two things. Okay? And I have two theories on what it means. One, now I believe it means it's the sun. Ray pause. Positive rays. Right? And that the sun is going to flash, it's going to flare because of this taking place. And that's what will transfigure or mutate those who are of the light into the light. But it says the heavens will give a terrible noise, or a great noise and fervent heat, right? And the heavens and the earth will pass away. He'll exterminate all who oppose him. Before the advent, the heaven will show signs, right? Before it's the big event, right? And Ray Paz could also be like Lucifer or, Apophis as well, because if you look at Lucifer, he is light and love. So rays of light, right? Positive light. He's love and light, right? And he's your right side, which is your right brain, which controls the left. The left is where your heart is, which is the seat of the soul, right? Or this could be representative of Apophis, the god of chaos and darkness, because he is the one who prepares the way for the god of destruction and rebirth and all of this stuff. I'm just telling you, man. If you guys, I know that this is really confusing for a lot of people, but I'm trying to keep it real with you. Like, you gotta watch my video. If you're new to my channel, you gotta watch backwards too, because I talk about so many different things, so much, and build on top of so many different things, that if you don't understand like my base material, you're not going to understand what I'm talking about, right now. But the age of Aquarius, though, there you go. Well, it's air, right? Or it's spirit, right? And it's not divided. It's unified. So Ray Paz positive, right? It'll exterminate all who go against the age of Aquarius, if you want to look at it that way. So I make it all come together. I try. This is how I think, man, and it's hard to find people that think the same way. And here you go. The mythology which personified the forces of the cosmic drama described the world as colored red. In one Egyptian myth, the bloody hue of the world is ascribed to the blood of Osiris, the mortally wounded planet god. In another myth, it is the blood of Seth, or Set, or a poppy, or Apophis. In the Babylonian myth, the world was colored red by the blood of the slain Tiamat, the heavenly monster. The Finnish epos of Kalevala describe how, in the days of the cosmic upheaval, the world was sprinkled with red milk. The Alti Tatars tell of catastrophes when blood turns the whole world red, and a world conflagration follows. The Orphic hymns refer to the time when the heavenly vault, mighty Olympus, trembled fearfully, and the earth around shrieked fearfully, and the seas was stirred or heaped, troubled with its purple waves. And old subject for debate is, why is the Red Sea so named? If it's called the black or the white, they may be due to the dark coloring of the water or the brightness of the ice and snow. The Red Sea has a deep blue color, as no other better reason was found, and few coral formations or some red birds at its shore were proposed as explanations of its time. But like all the water in Egypt, the water on the surface of the Sea of Passage was of a red tint. It appears that Raphael was not mistaken. The painting of the scene of the passage, he colored the water red. It was, of course, not this mountain and that river or that sea exclusively that was reddened, thus earning the red or bloody, as distinguished from other mountains and seas, but crowds of men, wherever they were, who witnessed the cosmic upheaval and escaped with their lives, ascribed the names of Hamus or Red to particular places. Pretty crazy, ain't it? And the phenomenon of blood raining from the sky has been observed in limited areas and on a small scale in most recent times. One of these occasions, according to Pliny, was during the consulship of Manius, Acilius, and Gaius Porcius. The Babylonians too recorded red dust and rain falling from the sky. Instances of bloody rain have been recorded in diverse countries. The red dust is soluble in water, falling from the sky in water drops, and it does not originate in clouds, but it must come from volcanic eruptions or from cosmic spaces. The fall of meteorite dust is a phenomenon generally known to take place mainly after the passage of meteorites. This dust is found on the snow of mountains and in polar regions. The hail of stones following the red dust. A small dust, ashes of the furnace, fell in all the land of Egypt, and then a shower of meteorites flew towards the earth. Our planet entered deeper into the tail of the comet. The dust was a forerunner of the gravel. There fell a very grievous hail, such has not been in Egypt since its foundations. Stones of Barad, here translated hail, as in most places were mentioned in the scriptures. The term for meteorites, we are also informed by Midrashic and Talmudic sources that the stones which fell on Egypt were hot. This fits only meteorites, not of hail and ice. And in the scriptures it said, Pliny, in the scriptures it is said that, according to Plutarch, occurred in the reign of Romulus. The Babylonian, it's estimated approximately a ton of meteorite dust falls daily on the globe, and it's 60 tons now. The Babylonian Talmud, Tractate Barakat, other sources, in the book of Joshua, it is said that great stones fell from the sky, and then they are referred to as stones of Barad. The ancient Egyptian word for hail, hail-ar, is also applied to driving showers of sand and stones in the contest between Horus and Set. Right? And remember, the depiction with Apophis under the boat had Set. Right? It is described as these stones fell mingled with fire, the meaning of which is that their fall was accompanied by loud noises, as thunderings or booms. And the red dust frightened the people, and a warning to keep men and cattle under shelter had been issued. Wow. They were even had a lockdown. Gather thy cattle and all thou hast in the field, for upon every man and beast shall be found in the field, and shall not be brought home. The hailstones shall come down upon them, and they shall die. And he had regarded the word of the Lord, left his servants with cattle in the field. The Egyptians' eyewitnesses, cattle are left astray, and there is none to gather them together. Each man fetches for himself those that are branded with his name. Falling stones and fire made the frightened cattle flee. It talked about animals coming into the cities. Trees are destroyed. No fruits, no herbs are found. Grain has perished on every side. This is the death in Hades I'm talking about, guys. Famine, pestilence, plague. It's all coming to a head because we're at this great end of this great cycle in mankind's history. This is like the final chapter. Whatever we do after this won't be the same as here, I believe. I mean, I truly, truly believe that too. Whatever we got going on now, we won't be in this form. And the script of such a catastrophe is found in the Visuddhimagga, a Buddhist text on world cycles. When a world cycle is destroyed by wind, there arises in the beginning cycle-destroying great cloud. These arises winds to destroy the world cycle, and first it raises a fine dust, and then a coarse dust, and then fine sand, and then a coarse sand, and then grit and stones up to boulders as large as sending upon the ladder at Ensa of a hail of sand. Wow. As mighty trees on the hilltops, the wind turns the ground upside down. Large areas crack and are thrown upwards. All the mansions on earth are destroyed in a catastrophe when worlds clash with worlds. When worlds clash with worlds. This is the war in heaven. Nostradamus talked about it too. The gods will make it appear to mankind that they are the authors of a great war. Before the sky was seen to be free of weapons and rockets, the greatest damage will be inflicted on the left. And I told you, right? Left is representative of Mars or male, right? And it controls the right side of your body. It's the creative, or it's the persona, ego, darkness, all of that. Or we could look at it in vice versa, as Venus being on the right, controlling the left. So, and that's what I think it's talking about, meaning like the greatest damage will be on our hearts, right? Your heart is the seat of the soul, right? So the soul is not the same thing as the place of God. These are two different things. You know what I mean? The crown chakras coming from your third eye, right? That's that being lit up. You have, and that's the magnetic pole of your body. And then here, right, in your heart gives off the largest electromagnetic field, and it's controlled by Venus, right? Love and light, right? And Mars is the fire and the destruction, the darkness. He had the flaming sword, right? And the shadow of pestilence. Those at ease will be cast down and put into trouble by three brothers. 3 stars. Right? Think about the Hopi prophecy. Guardians of the North Pole, Guardians of the South Pole, right? Paganhoya and Palangaahoya, Enki and Enlil, Saturn and Jupiter. The 3 brothers are Mars, Mercury, Venus. You know? It's fucking crazy, man. During the appearance of the bearded star. The bearded star is actually Saturn, right? The 3 great princes will be made enemies. And, like I said, in the past, a prince is an angel, right? And great prince is an archangel, right? Michael is referred to as a great prince. See, the 3 great princes will be made enemies. Jupiter, Venus, and perhaps Mars will be a part of this too. And it talks about Mars a lot too, as well. And the earth quaking, and then boom, look, serpent placed upon the shore. Serpent placed upon the shore. See? Apophis. He's the serpent. Right? When it says an enormous red dragon appeared in Revelations 12, it means a fabulous kind of serpent. He's a serpent. And he's connected right here with all of this. Right? Pretty crazy, ain't it? And then right here, look, blood, fire, Mercury, Mars, Jupiter, and France. There's 3 great princes right there. Right? And Mercury is representative of Hermes. Right? Right? So, and he is right there around our star, Sol. And right now he has got wings and stuff too. It's really wild, man. And where's it at here? Yes, very great famine through pestiferous wave. Right? He's talking about the tsunami and stuff. Through long rain, the links of the Arctic poles. This is where everybody's going. Samora born 100 leagues from the hemisphere. And the cloud, the great star will burn for 7 days. The cloud will cause 2 suns to appear. And that howling like a mastiff, that was that sound we seen. Right? That's the howling. And then lofty bodies endlessly visible to the eye. Through these reasons they will come to obscure. Body, forehead included, sense and head invisible, diminishing the sacred prayers. He's talking about them marking your ass. Look, lofty bodies endlessly visible to the eye. That's the veil, right? Going down. That's the ionosphere. That's the magnetic field weakening. That's the reversal. That's the great earthquake in the sky receding back like a scroll. That is transfiguration. That is ascension. Through these reasons, they will come to obscure. That's saying they're going to hide it all. Because what it really is. It's ascension. They're going to block out the sun. They're going to put chemtrails to refract light. Do you see what I'm saying, guys? Like, I'm not bullshitting you. Like, all these people, like, these people, these prophecies, they've had to have seen the future or lived in the future to know it. There is no such thing as time, and it's just a construct of this. And I believe that some have maybe just escaped this place and maybe come back to themselves to give themselves information, or it's in the Akashic record because we are all connected through that. That's just all of everything ever known, and we all have access to it. Because it's collectively our connection. We're an individual because of our soul, but our spirit is all one. And body, forehead included. Body in your forehead. Your third eye. Particulates in your body. Forehead included. Sense and head invisible. Right? Sense, they can't smell and stuff like that, right? And head invisible, right? The head is, right? You cut the head off the snake, right? Off the serpent, right? That's where the place of God is too, right? And I told you how these particles can make things disappear, right? Diminishing the sacred prayers. They're cut off from God. Fucking nuts, man. Fucking nuts. And nobody sees it. Nobody sees it. I don't know why nobody talks about any of this, but we know why this was happening. Right? We know what it's a part of. The Northern Lights visible in Michigan. Edgar Casey told you that would be what we would see right before the fucking poles shifted. It's crazy, ain't it? And remember, right, let me see if I still got the images of them. The new magnetic pole readings. There, yeah. There we go. See? That's where we flip. And we're that close. Casey said that would happen right before it. Like, people are not listening. This came out of the Discord. Look at that shit. Reality is, it's just like the star in a jar. It's collapsing in on itself. As consciousness, the light is expanding. Our sun is in the process of going nova, creating magnetic excursion. So magnetic excursion is happening with you as your consciousness goes nova. That's how fucking deep this shit really is. And nobody really recognizes it. You know? Why is nobody talking about it? Huh? There's that sound, man. Told you. It's all here. Saturn will go from gold to iron. DoD, new AI system to power drones to work in groups. They had one mind. They were of one mind. They had a king over them. Nobody's ready. You can't be ready for what's coming. Satellites have been underestimating the planet's warming for decades. We're seeing the radiation on the planet now. You know? That's why we have the South Atlantic anomaly. That's from the negativity. That's Nemesis making that spot. That's why it's round with wings. Why this grand plan unraveled. See, they're telling you the truth, man. They're telling you. You're just not listening. You're not paying attention. CME sparks minor geomagnetic storm as expected. Coronal mass ejection struck Earth's magnetic field on the 26th. And this ultimately sparked a minor G1 class geomagnetic storm, and it's now subsiding. And we watch it. Look, cyclonic storms, told you, just like sunspots. Damage after magnitude 5 near the volcano. Massive evacuations. Death toll more than 500 of eruption at Nylangongo. Extreme heat in Arabian Peninsula. And lava flow engulfing hundreds of homes. Wow, that's fucking crazy. Explosive activity at Etna. That's also talked about in Worlds in Collision. Electromagnetic anomalies occurring before large earthquakes. That's because it's just energy escaping from the earth, right? Plasmatic reverberations, and they escape through the faults and the volcanoes, right? Like I said, it's a cycle. The magnetic field is even showing you that the energy just flows in and out of it. Right? When we look at the field lines and how it's pulling energy from the objects behind it as it's repelling at the same time, it's the flow of energy. The process, the sun being triggered by a dark sun. Right? And as it pulls all of that in, we see it changing colors from yellow, and it cools down first as it's pulling it all in, right? It's plasma, guys. The sun's plasma too. And we see it go from yellow to white to blue as it starts to heat back up, then to red, and finally it turns black. Black as sackcloth. That's a hard shell on it. Whenever you see that the images of Nibiru or Nemesis, and it looks like this black cracked star, that's really, I think, our star that they're showing, like what our sun will look like. And that's why the heavens and the earth will pass away with fervent heat, right, and a terrible noise, because the sun blows that shell off. It goes nova, right, and it's a cycle over and over and over, and then Ray Paz will exterminate all who oppose him. Anything not made of light will be vaporized. Light destroys darkness. It's like a cleansing of all things. It's amazing, when you think about it. And as that's taking place, it's giving off radiation, cosmic rays, and all of this, and it's mutating our DNA. Mutating our DNA, going down through the ionosphere, heating up everything, and changing the nature of it too. That's why every destructive period, cataclysmic period, everything has changed on the earth. It's all mutated, because this is the process. This is ascension. This is this development, this automatic progression of consciousness, of life, of everything. And it's intentional. It's intelligent. It's structured. It has laws and rules. And it's magnetism. And it's electricity. And God is L for electric. Electric. Right? Like it's trying to tell you everything through it expresses itself in all things, because it's us. We are God. We come from God. We are His children. We are from that light. And that darkness hates us for it. They want that light bad. They want that energy bad, but it destroys them. It's more powerful. So they have to corrupt us, distort us to devour us. Right? And they think if they can devour all of the light, right? And they will then be God. There'll be nothing else, right? If there's no more light. That's why it says that Satan was given his own kingdom, basically, right? The underworld. It's darkness. It's a universe of darkness, a dimension of darkness. This is the Nibiru, the transition planet of the crossing. It's a crossing over, right? Of the different dimensions, of the different aspects, polarities. It's either crossing over to, the light, or crossing over to the darkness, positivity or negativity. We're an explosion, right, going both directions. We're the star in a jar. And at every single level, it's a fractal of the same thing and the same process. Down to little atoms within your body. And that's why there's nothing new under the sun. It's a cycle. And if we are creating, co-creating, manifesting, attracting our reality, then everything within it will have that expression, right? Everything within it will pour it out of us. Our consciousness will imprint on it. That's why it plays out on every level, and that's ascension, to get out of death, that physical fucking world where you can't see all of the rest of true life, true magic, true amazement around you. You can't see it. You're blind in there. You think that that's all it is. It's only physical. It's only here. It's only darkness, only evil, all outside of me. Because that's what death and darkness is. And once you finally break out of the box, out of the cube, right? And you do it with the truth, that you see the whole thing you thought was real was a lie, and that it's so much deeper, so much bigger, and it all revolves around you. You are the center of creation because you are the creator, or a fractal of the creator. It's amazing. And the reason it's outer space is because it's our outer psyche. We're within this place collectively creating. We're not creating out there. So there's nothing but space there. Darkness out there. You know? And within each star, I believe this process has probably taken place exactly like this in different variations of this, because they're all giving off different forms of light, different energetic frequencies that have a different archetype. And we probably have changed stars a million times before. And who knows, what if the 144,000 isn't just this, the Earth's star. Enough people to make a star for the Earth. I don't know. It's fucking wild. I know it's deep shit too. I guess I'm gonna do this here. As mighty trees on the hilltops, the wind turns the ground upside down. Large areas crack and are thrown upwards, like the cars falling in the earth I showed you. The inorganic, and let me go down here. The tail of the comets are composed mainly of carbon and hydrogen gases. And the hydrogen is pink in the air too, by the way. Just saying. And they're saying that, and they're saying that it's being emitted from the Earth at a high level now. And they do not burst in flight, but the inflammable gases passing through the atmosphere containing oxygen set on fire. Right? Oxygen set on fire. So, like I was saying of this cycle and this process, somebody was asking me, saying if we live under a firmament, where does asteroids and stuff come from? And if space is actually water, right? It's the seas, right? That's where they're in space ships, right? It's maritime law here on Earth. It's reflecting the heavens, the waters of the firmament. They said, if that's why, then how do asteroids and all that combine? I said, if they were probably part of the process, it's probably a form of energy, and the gases that we know create the auroras on the ionosphere. It's like a concentrated form of gas and energy, and it becomes plasmatic, right? And it rains down in the form of balls of fire and all of this, and we're at these points, man. It's wild. It's wild. And the descent of a sticky fluid came earthward and blazed with heavy smoke is recalled in the oral and written traditions in the inhabitants of both hemispheres. Popol Vuh, the sacred book of the Mayas, narrates, it was ruin and destruction. The sea was the sky. The sea was piled up. It was great inundation. People were drowned in a sicky substance raining from the sky. The face of the earth grew dark, and the gloomy rain endured days and nights. And then there was a great din of fire above their heads. The entire population of the land was annihilated. The manuscript Quiche perpetuated the picture of the population of Mexico perishing in a downpour of bitumen. There described from the sky rains of bitumen and sticky substance. The earth was obscured and it rained day and night. And far away in hemispheres in Siberia, the Vogels carried down through the centuries and millennia this memory. God sent a sea of fire upon the earth. The cause of the fire they called the fire water. tribes relate the remote past to Sinjil Das, or water or fire, rain from the sky, which is for few exceptions, all men died. The eighth plague described in the book of Exodus was Karad, or meteorites, and fire mingled with Barad. Very grievous, as there was none like it in all the land of Egypt since it became a nation, and a nation is a flight of locusts from the bottomless pit. There was a thunder and Barad, and the fire ran along upon the ground. And anytime it's upon the land, it's the earth. And the papyrus Epure describes the consuming fires, gates, columns, and walls consumed by the fire. The sky is in confusion. The papyrus said that the fire almost exterminated mankind. And the Midrashim and number of texts state that naphtha, together with hot stones, poured down upon Egypt. The Egyptians refused to let the Israelites go, which Israel, right? The name given to Jacob for wrestling with the angel, right? Or the Elohim, which is Nephilim. So he who wrestles with the fallen. He wouldn't let he who wrestles with the darkness go. You get me? You get me? It's saying that we're trapped in a system in Egypt, Babylon, Satan being the god of this world is saying we're trapped in here. And they won't let us go. And because they won't let us go, the Creator destroys it so we can escape. The Creator destroys it so we can escape. It's fucking way deeper than anybody can even imagine. When they're talking about it won't let you go, let my people go, right? The plagues are describing a process, right, of ascension, of transfiguration, of his people being set free. The population of Egypt pursued with strange rains and hails and showers inexorable, and utterly consumed with fire. For what most marvelous of all, and the water which quencheth all the fire wrought yet more mightily, which is the nature of burning petroleum. And the register of the plagues in Psalms 105, it's referred to as flaming fire, which is plasma, and as a river of fire, or fiery stream. In the Passover of Haggadah, it said that the mighty men of Pul and Lud, Lydia, and Asia Minor were destroyed with consuming conflagration on the Passover. Bam! Mighty men, men of old, men of renown, Nephilim. They're the giants, Nephilim. That's who they're talking about. The Nephilim were destroyed with a consuming conflagration on the Passover. You get me? Kronos eats his children. The Nephilim are the children of the gods, right? The fallen angels with man, right? So the Nephilim are the evil people of the earth. They're those who are of the darkness. They're all Nephilim. They're still here. You might be a Nephilim watching this. You get me? And it's telling you. It's telling you. No wonder they're so, wow, it just quenches the fire. And they were consumed with the fire of Passover, harvest of the first fruits. The Passover, Jupiter ascending, the king ascending, the king planet ascending, right? Judgment Day. I hope this is making sense to you guys. Seriously. This is like, they paint it in such a different way in the world. We can't lose. We can't lose. Like, seriously, we can't lose. And the reason they're doing the shit they're doing, they're hoping you're so afraid to die that you're going to give over your soul. You're going to take the mark, because that's the only way they keep you. You're being broken free by God. God's coming to destroy the prison they've locked you in. That's why Jesus is the truth, the way, and the life. Right? He showed you. This is how you escape. This is who you really are. And every one of them, they're bowing down to a lesser God. Someone that was begging him. Remember? He was just begging Christ. Just bow down and worship me. I'll give you everything. Right? Christ said, no, man. It's crazy, man. He was tested. He didn't take it for a reason. Because he had so much greater. In my Father's house are many mansions. Right? Storing up your riches in heaven. Dude, the people who fall for this, when they find out, and when they figure it out, oh my God, men's hearts will fail them for fear. There won't be a person. Just imagine. Damn. That's going to be that's a moment I don't want, man. It's a moment I don't want. Well, guys, and and it's sacrifice. Sacrifice. That's what Christ represents too. Serving others, helping others, giving to others, lifting others up, loving others. That's what it's all about, man. I want to thank all of you guys for watching me tonight. I genuinely appreciate each and every one of you. I just can't tell you how much, it's meant to me to be able to do what I love to do. Like, seriously, I probably would have lost my shit by now. If I hadn't have been blessed enough to be able to do all this. And I think everybody knows, like, if your life doesn't have meaning, it's hard. And we got to find that higher purpose, that higher meaning, that higher calling for each and every one of us, man. Like, we all need it. We all need it. We were all meant for it. Don't think you're not good enough to do it. Or don't think that you're not able to do any fucking thing you want. Dude, you are the master of your own reality. And I promise you that. I promise you that. 1,000 may fall at your side, 10,000 at your right hand. These evils will not come near your dwelling. Right? They won't harm a hair on your head. You will only observe with your eyes and see how the wicked are punished. You have been refined by the fires of affliction, made pure like gold. And now that you're gold, now that you're in this process, on this path, you are free. You can see all of it. Understand all of it. You can control it. But you can only do it if it's going to benefit others, if it's going to help others. And just like that magnetic field, just like that star, it's the exchange of energy, right? If you're putting it out, good energy, love, positivity, well, it returns to you. But you got to continuously keep the flow going, because that's the cycle of life. That's the process. And as you do, you'll continue to grow, continue to expand, and continue to become more and more like God, right? So, thank you so much, guys. Please consider donating and supporting if you guys can. We are at the end of the month. I don't have sponsors, anything like that. So we're completely funded by you. And I know with like the pandemic and all of that, it's been hard for people to get by and to do what they do. Some people just don't like to give to YouTubers for some reason too. There's always that. But we've lost our original Patreon. That was our main income, and then I've just had some real shit stuff happen recently. So I really need everybody's help. If you guys can, I would definitely appreciate it. And to the few that have, thank you so much. A couple of you guys, helped and text and all of that stuff. And dude, I really appreciate that so much, dude. It's so cool to see people that are just so kind and giving and caring about other people and empathetic. You guys have restored my faith in humanity. I'm not lying. You have restored my faith in humanity. We're so worth it. And our original state is one of light and love and peace. It's not what people are doing now. It's not. So yeah. Well, yeah, it doesn't matter, make it through or not. I don't care. Like, honestly, I'm not going to compromise myself in any way, shape, or form, even if it was the difference between life and death. I'm not going to do it. I'll die. I don't care. I was put here to do something for a purpose, for a reason, and I feel as I've done it. So, I've done it. And, that's how I see it, bro. So, yeah. Whether or not I make it, I don't care. Don't care. I can't stand this place. I can't stand the way people are. I can't stand the way how just fake love, fake people, fake everything. No one has empathy no more. No one wants anything with meaning no more. Like I can't even carry on a conversation with anybody anymore. It's like, damn. Damn. People really can suck, and circumstances can suck too. System will let you die if you don't have money. They don't give a fuck about you. The government is trying to kill you with all the bullshit they do to you, and they're causing you problems. And for speaking these things or speaking this truth, I promise you, they've tried to take my life more times than I can count. And I have been through absolute hell for years doing this. And it's all for trying to just be decent and let people know what's going on. Like, that shows you the level of evil we're dealing with, dude. But I can tell you this, everything, I wouldn't change nothing. Everything that I've ever went through my entire life has made me strong. To It's made me strong. And they've sent thousands of people at me and still couldn't get me, because I'm protected by something way bigger, way better, way higher. And that's who I represent. That's who I am, and that's who you are. Right? Greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. If I'm meant to die, I die. If I'm meant to live, I live. It's thy will be done, not do what thou wilt. And it's about selflessness and sacrifice and love. And love rules all. If we're doing everything from love, from our heart, being genuine, how can we go wrong? And we always have to be true to ourselves, but to be true to yourself, you have to know who the fuck you are, right? And be okay with it and love it. Because to love yourself is to love God. So, and I love all of you, and that gets pushed around a lot too, the love and light stuff, and all the channeling and all of this. I do want to let you guys know, I started a new channel, BDP Tarot. It's going to be an astrology channel. I haven't got it all finished and set up. I'm working on a website right now, and this website is going to be one where I can host live shows from. That way I don't have to do it through the platforms and all of that, and it's going to be really cool. I need help trying to get that together just because of all the things I got going on. I don't know. I really need help right now, guys, in a lot of ways. If people want to help me with the work and stuff, too, that would be great. I'm trying to develop this. That way we have, a community, a place to chat and hang out and all of that, as well as connect everything to it. It's really expensive, and it's really a lot of work, but it'll be amazing when it's done. And nobody can kick us off anywhere. We can do the private content and do whatever content right there, and that's cool. And all the merch and all of that, I'm trying to update it with I don't know, with stuff that I like and shit like that, and stuff that I would wear and think is cool too. I'm just trying to create every way possible to beat them. To beat them. I don't want to lose. In this game. There has to be someone out there telling the fucking truth. There has to be a group of people that aren't playing the divide and conquer bullshit. That don't have, nobody's their enemy. Black, white, left, right, everybody is welcome. There's none of that nowhere. And if we do it, I'm telling you, they couldn't stop us. They could kick us off everywhere, and it wouldn't fucking matter. It wouldn't matter. Your screen's blacking out when you hit a comment. Well, yeah, and I'm going to have blogs and articles and the merch, and just, you guys are about to see, man. Because I haven't been feeling well, I haven't had the energy to do a lot of shows. So, basically I've been just trying to work on all the technical stuff that I can. So, yeah, I need help developing new logos and everything. And as soon as I launch the horoscopes and stuff like that, I'll show you guys the channel, and you can go check it out. And, all of that. So, okay. Thank you guys for watching. Like I said, please support if you can. I really do need everybody to donate and help if they can. Please share this. It takes nothing. There's no charge to do that. You can share it freely. It's just a second on whatever you're watching on, and hit the like if you can in the chat, or if you see it later. And please, 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 after the video is over, leave a comment. Comment. Let me know what you think. It helps with the algorithms too. And make sure you're subscribed and you got all the notifications clicked, because these people are motherfuckers. Great show, John. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Sincerely do. Also, you can get a hold of me, the Real Best Damn Podcast at gmail.com, and Instagram, Best Damn Podcast, Twitter, The Real Best Damn. And like I said, I need some help, some work, people who want to work with me too. All right, Rick Thompson, Gina Dysert, Another Self, Carla, Tom Ledbetter, Jimmy Neutron, Brian Steidelmeyer. Yeah, thank you guys. April Charpal. Spike the like, dare to share. There you go. On that note, spike the like. Yeah. Yes, that's wonderful. I love you. I love all of you guys. I really do. All right, guys. Remember, Jesus is the truth, the way, and the life. God bless you guys. I love you. And I will see you next time. Y'all have a wonderful, wonderful week. Tomorrow I'll be doing the private show on Discord too. Peace.